In addition to oils and wines, we're also going to be talking about vinegars. Good quality vinegar is alive. Vinegar is made by inoculating wine with bacteria called the mother vinegar. This leaves vinegar in a lovely cloud. There is also a sediment in the bottom of the bottle that you can buy when you buy apple cider vinegar with the mother in it at most health food stores, but it is a bit pricey. In this course, we will include instructions later on how to make your own vinegar for a few pennies a gallon. Another important ingredient that we will be talking about will be glycerin. Glycerin is used to make tinctures for children or adults that wish to avoid alcohol. Its sweetness helps mask unpleasant flavors. There's also a use that is 100% vegetable-based glycerin. This quality is higher than animal-based glycerin, and it is safe for human consumption. The shelf life is comparable to that of the alcohol tinctures. Glycerin does not extract resins or oil from plants very well. Glycerin should also be diluted with water when making the tincture, the same as alcohol. But remember, many alcohols are also purchased diluted. Use pure distilled water to ensure that no wasted contaminants are included. A tincture made with glycerin is called a glycerate. Excessive consumption of glycerate tinctures may cause diarrhea in sensitive individuals. Honey is included here as an ingredient because it can also be added to soaps, poultices, and other anti-inflammatory remedies. Honey is free of pesticides and contaminants. Beekeepers normally don't use sprays, perhaps because beekeeping involves by its very nature an understanding of how the web of nature works. Try to buy honey grown close to your home. Every county and country produces different types of honey. People that have allergies sometimes find relief from eating local honey. If you stop at your local farmer's market, you can find a person who's selling crystallized honey. This honey is raw, and unfiltered raw honey contains enzymes that have antibiotic abilities and enzymes that are destroyed by light and heat, making raw honey the best choice for medicinal uses. Have caution. The Centers for Disease Control in Atlanta recommend that raw honey should not be given to children under 1 year old because some uncooked honey might contain botulism spores. Botulism spores are harmless for the older child and adult, but it can cause fatal diarrhea in immature digestive systems, such as those of toddlers and babies. We can also add beeswax to soaps, for example, or some lotions that we create, and also some poultices or remedies, sometimes to harden the mixture, others to have a little bit of honey in the mixture. Buying beeswax from a local beekeeper is always cheaper and of higher quality. Compare local around for $6 or $7 per pound versus your craft store at $2.75 an ounce. Sometimes when you buy wax or beeswax, you will have to melt it or strain it, because sometimes there might be parts of the bee in it, such as wings and other things. Don't worry, some of the stuff will melt when you're heating it up. Salts are effective to preserve herbs that are used in baths. Common table salt or sodium chloride is not recommended. Sea salt, refined from ocean brine and rich in minerals, is preferable. Epsom salt, also known as magnesium sulfate, is an inexpensive alternative when you are making bath salts. Bath bombs are normally made with cheap nitric acid and witch hazel. Can you believe that bath bombs are sold for as much as $14 in some stores when it only actually takes about 20 cents to make one? The equipment that you use to prepare your remedies will alter and can affect their quality. So herbalism, even though it does not require expensive supplies, most of them you probably already own and have in your kitchen, you want to make sure that also are of higher quality. Things that you will need are a notebook, labels, glass jars or mason jars, a strainer and press, mortar and pestle, a saucepan, and a scale. I recommend that if you don't have some of those, that you can purchase some of these at your local store. Notebook is the most important piece of equipment that you are going to have. Be sure to track your favorite recipes, references, suppliers' phone numbers, and if you grow your own herbs, make sure that you take seasonal and daily notes about weather conditions, gathering notes in times and places. You should also make notes about the preparation process and write down your mistakes. Sometimes mistakes can create great creations. Labels also are important. Fancy or plain, they can be your best friend. A remedy is not finished until it does not have a label in it. At the very least, list the ingredients and the date. This is extremely important. Other helpful items are what the preparation is for, how it should be used, and how it should be stored. Where the herbs were obtained can also be helpful. We already talked a little bit about glass jars and colored glass jars to storage. Bottles with lids and treasures. Bottles are lids with treasures to any herbalist. Make sure if you buy or gather bottles from recycling centers, distribution of flea markets, that you disinfect the bottles before using. You can do this by boiling for 10 minutes or rinse with a solution of 3% hydrogen peroxide solution, which is available at your grocery store or pharmacy. Simply wash your jars with soap and water and rinse them. Pour a small amount of peroxide into the jar, shake vigorously, and drain. You will have to last rinse with water and then let the air dry. Thank you for coming with me and visiting all of the equipment and some of the most quality ingredients that we're going to use for this course. I'll see you in the next lesson.